It's Thursday. It's Thursday, but I decided, made an executive decision that we're not doing shows on Fridays this year. So in the off season, so it is officially Friday, and we welcome in to wrap up the week, our last guest of the week, a 3-time Pro Bowler, 15-year NFL vet, and co-host, I guess, of the hottest new podcast with the 2510 show with LeSean McCoy. DeSean Jackson, tell me everything about the podcast and how it's been received.
Man, there's been some great feedback. I think, great morning or great afternoon to you and your beautiful self. But how you doing this morning?
I'm good. I'm really good. It's always good to see you. So you heard from your friends, players. Who did you hear from when the podcast went out? Because you guys are honest. That's what I'm looking for. You're honest. You're going to talk about Justin Fields. You're going to talk about Caleb. Like, it'll be great.
Yeah, man. We got some great feedback, though, to get back to the question. I think for us, we've been kind of anticipating this and waiting so long for us to finally sit back and kind of throw bullets and let them fly. I mean, the topics was hot. I mean, the discussions was hot. Like I said, it was no filter. It was no script. I mean, we kind of went over, every bullet point of our show, but we definitely didn't get too deep into it because I feel like if me and McCoy, we talk about all our topics before and we kind of like get into it, we like start arguing. He debates, I debate. So it's like, look, we ain't finna be doing like we just shot Tuesday and we was doing the same thing, talking about the topics, and we just start arguing. I'm like, look, I don't even want to talk about the topics no more because all that is authentic and we need it on camera. So it's like hot topics. Yeah.
I can't wait. So when does the next episode come out?
Today. Every Thursday.
Today? Okay, it is out, guys. 25 and 10.
You gotta know this. It ain't out yet, but it drops today. I need you to know these things. We business partners.
I think you said it drops at 11, but I don't know if that was just the first one or if that was now. But I'm glad that I asked. Everybody can go download it today, listen to it. Authentic, honest. And these are guys who played the game, know what they're talking about. And they're like friends, but they call each other out. It's the best. And obviously, I don't have to sell it. It's amazing. I want to ask you a little bit about baseball because it is opening day. And we know you were a top baseball recruit at Long Beach Poly. So do you ever stop and think, like, what would my world look like if I went that path instead?
Oh, well, see, the thing about baseball is because I was, coached up, I was taught to, actually say I was going to play baseball. So, see, a lot of people don't know, I was a senior in high school, and I actually got a call from the Milwaukee Brewers. And they was like, yo, DeSean, it's the first round. We about to pick you. Are you willing to give up football? I was coached to say, yes, I would give up football, but I want you guys to pay for me to go to college so I can get my college education, and I was going to play football as well, too. But when they asked me this tough question as me being a high school, a senior, and I'm sitting there, I'm like, I can't give up football. And they was like, all right, well, we're going to forget this pick, and we can't pick you because they wanted me to stop playing football. They wanted me to give up football altogether. And I was like, I can't do it. But I do look back. I do look back and wish.
Yeah, tell me.
Go ahead. Oh no, I was just gonna say I do kind of look back at that like, man. I mean, I wish I would have kind of pursued baseball a little more because obviously, the guaranteed money, them contracts, less injuries. I could have still been playing at 45. Probably would still been active. So I mean, you never know. But I mean, I definitely. I'm blessed to have an NFL career like I had, though,
Yeah, you and Mookie and Dodger Blue would have been nice. Crazy that you could have been on the Brewers. I think that's about the time that CC Sabathia got traded there.
Yeah, man, that definitely. It would have probably took some time though for me to get up to the top, to the big leagues though, because you start single A, rookie ball, all that stuff.
That's
so
not cool.
Back then I was just like, man, I just know I could go to college 3 years, I could be in the NFL. So I was like, I'm gonna take my eyes on that.
Yeah. If you were a betting man, and I know that you sometimes can be, if you had to make, a pick for who would be the best current NFL player, like if you had to put all your money on this is the NFL player that will make the switch to Major League Baseball and perform the best, like a surefire future Hall of Famer, who's that player in the NFL?
Ooh, I would probably say, it's out of like a Russell Wilson and Kyler Murray. I would say out of them two.
Are you excited about Kyler this year? I know he was hurt last year. I think nobody's talking about Arizona. I talked about him this week. He's got such talent and potential. Maybe he can do something this year.
Yeah, Kyle Murray, I think he's definitely a great talent. It's unfortunate with injuries, man, because we do a lot of that on 25-10 as well too. Like we talk about the guys that we go back like the Baron Davises of the world, the Greg Odens. Like I mean, we talk about Gilbert Arenas. We talk about guys like that were like that before the injuries, like Alonzo Ball. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like Kyle. I mean, I hope he's not in that same boat. Because when I was playing for the Rams in 2021, 22, he actually was balling. And I seen a tweet that he tweeted. It was like, man, geez, like about time Aaron Donald's retiring. So I think this year he'll definitely have a great year. So they need some help. He needs some more supporting cast to help him out though.
Well, they pick at 4, and so people are saying Malik Neighbors or Marvin Harrison. Which one would you want if you're Kyler?
Ooh, that's a good one. I'm gonna have to go with Marvin Harrison. I think Marvin Harrison is a better overall receiver. He plays outside. Neighbors, he plays more in the inside and a slot receiver. So I think Kyle Murray, he needs kind of like a bigger target because he's kind of shorter. So it's kind of hard for him to kind of see sometimes. And he scrambles and moves around a lot. So I think Marvin Harrison Jr. would be a great fit and a great addition to Kyle.
Let's talk about some other things. Coach Prime was on the $1 Million Worth of Game podcast, and he talked about the draft options Travis Hunter and his son Shador may have. So he made it clear that he'll have some say in where both of them are playing. He said, I know where I want them to go, so it's certain cities that ain't going to happen. It's going to be in Eli Manning. What do you think about DeSean saying this?
Man, DeSean, I got so much respect for him. He's changed the culture, what he's done in college football. I definitely understand it to a sense, but I mean, we still need to see a lot more from Shador. I'm a big fan of Shador, and I think, with him playing, in the Pac-12 last year was definitely like a big step for him. But this year coming up, we need to see a lot from him before he can lock in his top pick. So I don't know. I feel like DeSean reached a little bit with this one. I mean, he does have a lot of relationship. He is a GOAT. He is a Hall of Fame, player, and I definitely feel like he has the insight to a lot of stuff that's going on in the NFL.
Right.
But it's kind of tough unless you are like, that top pick guy. I mean, as far as Travis Hunter, he'll be a top pick, but I think it's a little different from a skill player to like a quarterback.
So you're saying maybe a little too soon, which is, I think, fair. So DeSean used the whole he used the whole pull and Eli thing, and Eli didn't seem to mind, by the way. How would you? He said, "I love me some DeSean." How do you feel about this? Like, what if this trend becomes common among drafted players?
Well, you just don't want to over predict too much, And when I say over predict, you don't want these NFL scouts, these NFL teams, feeling like you're trying to control the narrative. At the end of the day, it's a blessing to even be talking about in that small few guys where you can be talked about in the top few guys in the NFL draft. So I think you just need to appreciate that. You need to, kind of be humbled about it. And I mean, whatever happens, kind of let it be. I hate when guys try to like predict their future without really knowing what the future, holds for themselves. So, I mean, obviously great players, obviously a GOAT, Hall of Famer and Deion Sanders, but, just kind of like I say, just let it play out and kind of see where your destiny takes you.
I know a place that does need a quarterback in 2025, your favorite team, the Dallas Cowboys. There is apparently a mutual understanding, DeSean, between Dallas and Dak on his contract this year, signaling that he could walk into free agency after the season. If you're Jerry, are you waiting for, I don't know, someone, Shador maybe, in 2025, or are you sticking with Dak?
I love it. I love this T right here. See, are you on our group thread? Because I feel like you kind of been knowing what we talking about on 25-10, because this next week we diving deep into this one.
It's just a vibe.
Yeah, see, some tea. So, this topic right here is a huge topic. We're actually going to be talking about this topic next week. So, I don't know if I'm Jerry Jones, I mean, he hasn't won a playoff game for me. So, what are we talking about? Do I keep playing this man $40+ million or however much he's getting? He's getting paid a lot of money. And if I can't get no playoff wins, I'm wasting my money. This is Jerry's world. So going into 2025, I think this is a smart decision. I mean, we talked briefly about this a few times on Dak Prescott, and I think, off the charts. I mean, numbers wise, he has some great numbers, but I mean, got to translate. You got to turn to this in the columns, not only in the regular season, but in the playoffs.
Now, he has won 2 playoff games, DeSean. Is that not enough?
So you talking about, okay, so you talking about 2 playoff games. What is his record? 2-4? 2-5? I mean, what is 2 playoff games? Come on, give it to me. Where is it?
2-5, I think.
Yeah. Okay, so, I mean, 2 playoff games and 5 losses? That's not good enough if I'm paying you. I just seen it. What is it, $55 million? No, that don't cut it.
55.445 or 45. I don't know why there's 3 numbers
Yeah,
there, but
that's this year.
it's a lot of money.
He ain't won a playoff game. I mean,
I can't wait to hear that on the podcast.
I need him to go to the conference. You know what I'm saying? Like deep in it, not just like the wild card. You talking about wild card? Come on, Kay. We don't credit. Like I said when we talking about playoffs. Like I said when we talked about the Lakers and hanging the in-season banner. We don't hang them. We want that trophy. We want the big rings, man.
They haven't been to the NFC Championship game since 1995.
That's what I'm talking about. Like if you win me like one of those and you get to the Super Bowl and we lose, you know what I'm saying? Like now we can talk. But I mean like just winning like a wild card, like come on. That's not good enough when y'all 12-4 every season and 13-3 and whatever the heck. Like that's come on. And losing the first game in the playoffs?
I mean, 1995 was 30 years ago. Like, it has been too long. They need to make a switch. And I kind of like that they're getting ahead of it so it's not some huge story, some big... I mean, it'll still be a big story, but, like, everybody knows what time it is in Dallas. Are we
telling our age? Yeah, we talking about 30 years ago. I didn't think we was telling our age.
1995. They haven't been to the NFC Championship game since then. That's absolutely bananas. Okay, hold on. New and approved kick return rule. I mean, that XFL gave us the example. You hate it? Why?
I don't like it. It just changes the game so much. I know they're trying to stop all these injuries and, prolong the game a little longer, but it's just like there's no more onside kicks. No more surprise onside kicks. Like I gotta go check in with the referee and tell the referee, "Oh, I want to kick on one side." So now, when you coming off like to steal a few possessions, you can't steal a few possessions now. Like now, this kind of makes the game boring. It kind of spices it up a little bit because it's gonna be easier for guys to like score kick returns. I feel like because like the guys are so close to you. I mean, I understand from the collisions and like all the hard collisions and all that type of stuff, but it's like it changes the game. Like I feel like if I would have been playing in this era, I would have probably had like 10 to 15, maybe 20 more touchdowns. That's just me being real.
20 more touchdowns. But wouldn't you have liked that? Wouldn't you? If you were still playing and this rule happened, wouldn't you be so excited?
I mean, how much credibility are we going to give to this? You're not going to like surpass a Devin Hester. Like if I'm Devin Hester and I see guys beating my record and surpassing my record, like am I going to credit them? Like I can't get at no credibility. I got a guy like Devin Hester. I never really did kick return. I was more of a punt returner. But kick return, they're all the way at the 30, and they got to run down the field like 40, 50 yards. So the credibility is going to go down a little bit. Like, I don't really like the rule in the NFL.
You're the best.